क्या है ये last minute का टेंशन रिविजन के साथ भी सॉल्यूशन रुको जरा ले लो ये डायरेक्शन सिया के साथ पढ़े प्रोग्रेशन छोड़ो वो पेजेस जो कंफ्यूज करे हर सवाल का जवाब यहाँ पर है अब सपनों के रास्ते और आसान हुए उम्मीद के नए आसमान हुए चमके जो सितारे तुम्हारी किताबों में नई सुबह शुरू अब तुम्हारे सपनों में सिया के साथ सफर है सुहाना दुनिया की हर राह लगे नजर आना क्या है ये लास्ट मिनट का टेंशन रिविजन के साथ में भी सॉल्यूशन रुको जरा ले लो ये डायरेक्शन सिया के साथ पढ़े प्रोग्रेशन
Hello students, welcome to CR Digital Classes. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. This platform of CR Digital Classes will provide the best of best content for your subjects. So by watching these classes, by attending these classes, definitely you will get a lot of command on your subjects. And you can face the examination with full confidence without fear. So today I'm here. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. I'm here to explain you how to attempt the examination income tax tomorrow. So only few hours are left. So in this live session, I want to explain you the tips of how to attempt the question with full confidence. Here I'm going to explain you about the structure of the question paper, how to start answering the questions in your examination. Because many students may not know about how to proceed, how to start the examination question paper. Now, before that, I want to tell you one thing that I cannot be able to explain each and every aspect, each and every question. Here in CR team, we are analyzing all the previous year question papers. We have analyzed and we have decided which are the very important questions. Because this is the time where we cannot go in depth for all the problems and all the questions. Students want some specific questions which are very, very important from examination point of view. So here I'm going to tell you about which are the important short questions, long problems, and few long problems also I want to explain you. So be here live. Don't skip in between. Watch till the end. Definitely you will get a lot of confidence. Now, first of all, I want to tell you about the pattern of the question paper here. This is the live class for income tax for BCom fourth semester, and exam date is tomorrow, 17th of April. So only few hours are left. So how to utilize this limited, this is last few hours time. How to utilize that, I'm going to explain in detail. Now, marks structure. For your examination, 100 marks, 80 marks is for external and 20 marks internal. The passing percentage is 40%. So 40% of 80 marks comes to 32 marks. So minimum, how to easily cross this border of minimum marks, that I'm going to explain time to time. And apart from that, internal, it might be over, internal exams might be over, so we are not concentrating on internal, only on external examination I'm concentrating. Now see, marks structure over. Next is part A. Two sections are there, part A and part B. In part A, 8 questions will be given, out of which you have to attempt 5 questions. And each question carries 4 marks. So 5 4s are 20. In these 8 questions, normally all the 8 will be theory questions, or 1 problem and 7 theory questions, or 2 problems and 6 theory questions. So this is the combination. But anyway, theory is very important for the section part A, short bits. In this 8 questions, all the 5 units are covered. So I'll tell you what are the different types of questions which may be asked in this section A, part A. Now, part B. In part B, 5 questions will be given. Each question carries 12 marks, but internal choice will be there. That is 9A or B. Anyone you have to attempt. Similarly, 10A or B, 11A or B, 12A or B, 13A or B. So here, from each unit, you have from B, each unit you have. Actually, this is given for part A. In part B, we have different pattern of question paper. That is 9A or B, 10A or B. 9A or B will be from unit 1. 10A or B will be from unit 2. 11A or B, unit 3. 12, unit 4. And 13, unit 5. This is regarding part B. Now, the next thing is how to write the exam tomorrow. The most important thing, how to write the exam tomorrow. Strategies to write. Carefully you see. The first strategy is start with part A. If you are confident, if you are prepared very well, then if you are confident that I can be able to attempt at least 4 or 5 questions, for at least 3 to 4 questions with confidence, so then only you start with part A. Otherwise, if you are not confident, if you are confident only in 1 or 2 questions of part A, my suggestion, take the strategy 2, where part B you have to start. In part B, 12 marks questions are there, and problems are also there. A bit theory, B bit problem. I always suggest you to go for problems because you can get maximum marks in problems, whereas you cannot expect full marks in theory. If you are unable to do the problem, then you go for theory question. This is the strategy. Now, the next thing is most important theory questions for part A. Here I have selected some 14 questions. We have analyzed at CR team, we have analyzed the past papers, past question papers, and found out which are the very important 4 marks question. Here briefly, I am going to explain you the complete questions you can get in a PDF in the description. And for complete answers, you can go to CR app. You can get the complete answers for these questions. Whereas only questions you can find in PDF in the description, right? For example, person. According to Income Tax Act, person includes individual, HUF, firm, company, association of individuals, body of individuals. All these are the persons. And secondly, previous year. A period of 12 months immediately preceding the current assessment year. Our current assessment year 24-25, previous year 23-24. Integration of income, where a person is having agricultural income and non-agricultural income. Income Tax Act has given the provision regarding integration of both the incomes under certain conditions. Define perquisites. Perquisites are the benefits. The benefits given by the employer to the employee either in cash or in kind, either to the employee or their family members. The perquisite is also taxable. Income Tax Act has given the rules how to calculate the value of perquisite, like rent-free accommodation, motor car, etc. Next, net annual value. In income from house property, first we calculate gross annual value. From gross annual value, subtract municipal taxes. The resulting figure is called net annual value. Gross annual value, this is the starting point of computing income from house property by considering municipal rental value, fair rental value, actual rental value, standard rental value. Standard rent is the rent fixed by the rent controller. When the house is governed by Rent Control Act, the rent control will fix the rent. That is standard. Block of assets. Income Tax Act does not allow that individual assets should be depreciated. All the assets should be made in a block. A block consists of similar nature of assets with same rate of depreciation. like building block, furniture block, machinery block. Profession. Income tax is applied not only on the business but also on the profession. So how to compute the income from profession? That is also explained. Indexed cost of acquisition in capital gain. To calculate the income from capital gain, we have to subtract consideration receipt minus indexed cost of acquisition for long-term capital asset. So if long-term capital asset is there, we have to find out the indexed cost of acquisition, and that will be deducted from consideration to get capital gain. Tax-free securities, different types of securities are there: exempted security, tax-free security, less tax security. So tax-free security are those security where the issuing authority will pay the tax on the interest on those securities. Casual income, it is the unexpected income which a person may receive. It is the income which is received by an element of chance, like winning from lottery, crossword puzzles, horse races, gambling, betting, television games. And for casual incomes, there is a flat rate of tax of 30%. Bond washing transaction. Bond washing transaction is an act where a person will transfer the asset to another person just before the due date, with an agreement that after due date he will repurchase it. The purpose of this act is to avoid the tax. So if there is bond washing transaction found, then income tax officer will make the transferor liable to pay the tax. So briefly, I have explained all the 14 questions. If you want the detail of all these questions, you have to go to the SIA app. You will find. And these questions you will find in description in the form of PDF. So I have explained you the very important questions in part A. Now let's analyze the unit simplicity and complexity for writing essay questions, 12 marks. See, remember, all the, heads, all the units are not equally complex. Some units are easier, the other units are little bit difficult. So from complexity point of view, I have analyzed all the 5 units and found that which unit you have to attempt first, on which unit you must start writing. So from the point of view of complexity, I have given the rank. The first rank is introduction. In introduction, unit 1, in examination you may get both the theory questions. Very rarely you may get one problem, one theory, but chances, 90% chances you may get both theory. So it's easy to, write the unit number 1, right? I'll give you the list. What are the questions, essay type questions, which may be asked in unit number 1? Like what is tax, what are direct and indirect taxes, what are residential status, agricultural income, or exempted incomes, general rule and exceptions to general rule, and what are the different types of taxes. I'll give you the list of the questions. Then after attempting the first unit, my suggestion, go to the third unit, income from house property. I have given second rank, because comparatively very less provisions are there. Easily you can compute the income from house property. So after computing third, my suggestion, go to fifth unit for capital gain and other sources, because here also few provisions are there. Easily you can do the problem. So if you follow this format, definitely without any difficulty you can complete the question paper. Then this is the third from complexity part. Fourth preference is given to profits, PGBP, profits and gains of business or profession. Here also easily you can do. That is the fourth one. Lastly, you go for the second unit, that is income from salary. Don't start from income from salary, because provisions for income from salary is more. It's difficult to remember all the provisions. So if you follow this procedure, definitely you can be able to attempt all the questions in examination. Now, unit 1, introduction. Part A and part B. Okay. Okay. Abhi, like afterwards. Again, you want to be. Which one? This one. Yeah. Okay. Here some errors was were there in the slide. Part A we will have 8 questions. Each question carries 4 marks, but 5 you have to attempt. But for section B, we will have for section B we will have 9 to 13. 9A or B 9B and 10A 10B like that up to 13A 13B. Any one you have to attempt either A or B. That is the pattern of the. So there is an error in showing this part A and part B. In part A, 8 questions are there, whereas this section is for part A. Now, in the next section, I'm going to explain you about part B. In part B, again, it is given that 2 problems. This is not correct. Right? Question number 1 to 8. This 1 to 8 is for part A section. So there is a glitch here. Part B, we have essay type questions. These 8 questions will be given. This is not correct. The questions will be from 9 to 13. From 9 to 13. And this expectation again, it is given for part A. That is the glitch, small mistake we have. How to write the exam for tomorrow? We have just now discussed. Strategy 1, strategy 2. Always go for first section if you are confident in attempting at least 3 to 4 questions. Otherwise, you go for part B because you can get more marks in part B. Right? Now, these are the questions just now I have explained you the short questions. Now, let's analyze the units complexity, simplicity we have discussed just now. Unit 1, introduction. Expectation. In the first unit, it is expected that you will get both the theory questions. 9A, 9B, both are theory. You can attempt anything, but sometimes they may give you one problem also that I'll show you. And this unit is comparatively very easy. So students, my suggestion, be thorough on the important questions which I am giving to you for this part 9A or 9B. And these questions you can find in description in a PDF. And for answers, you can go for SIA app. Right? Expectation 90% chance you will get both theory. Now in unit number 1, sometimes they will ask you a problem. Like for example, in this July 2023, they have asked a problem like this: calculation of tax liability. I'll show you. Calculate tax liability for the current assessment in the following cases. Integration of income. When a person is having agriculture income and non-agriculture income, both should be integrated. According to section 10, subsection 1, the income from agriculture is completely exempted from tax if a person is having only agriculture income. But when a person is having agriculture income and non-agriculture income, both the incomes should be clubbed. Then to find out the tax on non-agriculture income, clubbing provision will apply. 3 steps we have to compute the tax liability. But before that, what is the condition of clubbing? If the agriculture income is more than 5,000 and non-agriculture income is more than basic exemption limit. For example, the current previous year. The basic exemption limit is 2,50,000. That means agriculture income should be more than 5,000 and non-agriculture income should be more than 2,50,000. Then only both the incomes will be clubbed. Here, first case is agriculture income. Agriculture income 3,000. Agricultural income 3,000 and non-agriculture income 78,000. Non-agriculture income 78,000. So simply you have to write one sentence. The agriculture income is below 5,000 and non-agriculture income is below 2,50,000. So clubbing provision will not apply. We will not club. The tax liability is nil. That's it. This is the first case. Now second case. Agriculture income is 2,75,000. Agriculture income 2,75,000 and non-agriculture income 95,000. Non-agricultural income, it is 95,000. Now again clubbing provision will not apply because agriculture income is more than 5,000 but non-agriculture income is below 2,50,000. When both the conditions are satisfied, then only we club. So again tax liability will be nil. That's it. Now I am coming to the third point, C. What is that C point, third point? Agriculture income of Sri Rama Devi is 1 lakh. So agricultural income is 1 lakh. Plus non-agricultural income is 5 lakh. Plus non-agricultural income is equal to 5 lakh. Now here clubbing provision will apply because both the conditions are satisfied. More than 5,000 and more than 2,50,000. How to calculate the tax? Step 1. Calculate the tax on total income. Tax on total income. Total income is 1 lakh plus 5 lakh, 6 lakh. So we have to calculate what is the tax on 6 lakh. So here slab, income, rate and tax. First slab up to 2,50,000. Income is 2,50,000. Rate of tax is nil. Income tax is nil. Second slab goes from 2,50,001 to 5 lakh. 2,50,001 to 5 lakh. The income is 2,50,000. Rate of tax is 5%. So 12,500. The third slab goes from 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh. But our income is not going up to 10 lakh. Our income is only 6 lakh. So 6 lakh minus 5 lakh is 1 lakh. The rate of tax is 20%. So 1 lakh 20%, it is 20,000. So 20 plus 12, 32,500. 32,500 is the tax on total income. Secondly, step 2. Tax on exempted income. Tax on exempted income. Now exempted income is equal to agricultural income. How much is the agricultural income? 1 lakh. Agricultural income is 1 lakh. Plus non-agricultural income exempted is 2,50,000. So 1 lakh plus 2,50,000, 3,50,000. Now we have to calculate the tax on 3,50,000. Same way, slab, income, rate, tax. First up to 2,50,000. The income is 2,50,000. The rate is nil. Tax is nil. Second slab goes from 2,50,001 to 5 lakh. But our income is not going up to 5 lakh. Our income is only 3,50,000. So here I am taking 3,50,000. 3,50,000 minus 2,50,000. It is 1 lakh. Balance. This is the balance. 1 lakh 5%. It is 5,000. So tax on exempted income is 5,000. So what I have shown you, how to calculate the tax on total income, how much is the tax on exempted income. Now step 3. Tax liability is equal to tax on total income minus tax on exempted income. Tax on total income is how much we got? 32,500. Tax on exempted income, it is 5,000. So the 32,500 minus 5,000, it is 27,500. 32,500 minus 5,000, it is 27,500. That's all. This is the method of computing the tax liability when a person is having agricultural and non-agricultural income, right? Now, similarly, we have to calculate like this. Agriculture income of Mr. Hari Kishan is 60,000 and non-agriculture income is 2,56,000. Exactly same procedure. Exactly same procedure is followed for his own, right? How we have calculated in 3 steps. Same method you have to follow for the last one also. So even there is a chance that you may get a short question, 4 marks question on this topic of clubbing of income, agriculture income and non-agricultural income. Now, unit number 3. I told you that in first unit you will get both theory question or one problem, one theory. One problem just now I have explained you. The theory question already it is there in PDF in the description. Now unit 3. According to complexity, I told you after first unit you go to the third unit, income from house property. The chances are A bit theory and B bit problem. Always you should go for problem. At least if you write the format of the problem, you will get the marks. So always prefer the problem. If you are unable to do the problem, be thorough on the theory. And one theory and one problem, 90% chance. The question number will be 11A or B. Now income from house property. One problem I am going to explain you how to compute the income from house property. See here, this was last examination, July 22 examination problem. I'm going to explain. Mr. Praveen holds house property and lets it to Sri Shashi for 18,000 per month. Praveen is the owner. He let out the house per month 18,000 actual rental value. Then municipal rental value MRV of the property is 1,45,000. And the rent of similar building, that is the fair rental value, 1,75,000. Standard rent fixed by the rent controller is 1,50,000. Expenses incurred by him, municipal taxes 1,000. When the municipal taxes are paid by the owner, it is allowed as deduction. Then fire insurance premium 1,200. Ignore. No deduction will be given for fire insurance premium. Praveen took a loan for construction of the house and paid interest 70,000. Allowed as deduction. Two deductions are allowed under 24A and 24B. 24A standard deduction and 24B is the interest on loan taken to construct the house. Calculate income from house property for the current assessment year. So first of all, you should write down computation of income from house property of Mr. Praveen for the assessment year 2024-25. Now, how to compute? Here I am showing in a tabular form, right? The same method you have to follow in examination. First of all, we have to start with gross annual value. Gross annual value. It is called GAV. GAV we have to find out in working note. From GAV, we have to deduct municipal taxes. After deducting municipal taxes, we'll get net annual value. From this, we deduct deductions under section 24. So two deductions are there. Standard deduction under section 24A. This is compulsory deduction, 30% of NAV. And second, interest on loan taken to construct the house, to purchase the house, to repair the house, to reconstruct the house, that will be allowed as deduction. Here interest paid is 70,000. right? After deducting these two, finally we will get income from house property, right? So the main thing is we have to find out the gross annual value. The gross annual value you have to find out in working notes. Our next slide is also there. We can go for the next slide for calculating working notes. Because every problem, gross annual value you have to find out in working note. And remember one more point. This is a 12 marks question, but you may get a 4 marks question also for calculating the gross annual value. So whatever steps I'm showing here, the same steps you have to follow finding out gross annual value for a short problem also. Now GAV, step 1. Step 1, expected rental value. I'm writing ERV. ERV is higher of the following two. ERV stands for expected rental value, which is higher of the following two. First one is MRV and second one is FRV. MRV, municipal rental value, it is given in the problem 1,45,000. 145,000, and FRV, rent of similar building, is 1,75,000. Whichever is higher, 1,45,000 or 1,75,000. So 175 is higher. This is called ERV, right? Now step 2. Step 2 is calculating the adjusted ERV is least of the following two. Least of the following two. Here, first one higher we have taken. Second step we are taking least. So A point is ERV. The ERV just now we have calculated 1,75,000. And B is SRV, standard rental value. The standard rental value is 1,50,000. So whichever is lower, 175 or 150? 150 is lower. So 150 is the adjusted ERV. Now third step, step 3. GAV is higher of the following two. Higher of the following two. A, adjusted ERV. Just now we have calculated adjusted ERV 1,50,000. B, ARV stands for actual rental value. The actual rental value is 18,000 per month. So here I am writing 18,000 into 12. 18,000 into 12. It is 2,16,000. 2,16,000. Whichever is higher. 2,16,000 is higher. So therefore GAV is equal to 2,16,000. Once again I will explain you. In 3 steps you have to, in 3 steps we have to find out the gross annual value. The first step, ERV, which is higher of MRV, FRV. Second step, least of the following two is the adjusted ERV. Actual ERV or SRV. दो में से जो भी least रहेगा उसको select करेंगे. Then third, GAV is higher of the following two. Adjusted ERV or actual rental value. That's it. Whichever is higher is the GAV. Once we get to the GAV, easily we can complete our solution. I'm coming back. 2,16,000 is the GAV. 2,16,000. Now municipal taxes. How much are the municipal taxes paid? Municipal taxes are 1,000. 1,000 rupees municipal taxes. Subtract 1,000. So 2,15,000 is called NAV, net annual value. 30% of 2,15,000. 2,15,000 into 30%. 64,500. 64,500 is called standard deduction, compulsory deduction. So 64,500 plus 70,000. It comes to 64,500 plus 70,000. 134,500. Now subtract 2,15,000 minus 134,500. It comes to 80,500. This is called income from house property. That's it. So simple. That's why I told you that always after first unit, go to the third unit and complete this income from house property. Even if you are unable to complete the problem, at least if you write the procedure, the format, you will get the marks, right? So this is the problem on income from house property. Procedure given by the Income Tax Act regarding computing the income from house property. Now, the next problem, self-occupied house. There are two types of houses, let out house and self-occupied house. The provisions are different, right? So here, compute income from self-occupied. This was asked in June 24. Compute income from self-occupied house, property of Mr. D for the assessment year 24-25. Mr. D is the owner of the house property and residing in the own house property in Mumbai. The municipal value is 9 lakh per annum and the fair rental value is 1 lakh per annum. He has taken a housing loan of 35 lakh. The interest paid during the previous year 23-24 on housing loan is 2,25,000 per annum. Now see, before starting the answer, I'll explain you. Before starting the problem, you must know the provisions. For let out house, just now I have explained you. For self-occupied house, the provision is the net annual value of self-occupied house is nil. No deductions are allowed under section 24 except one deduction, that is interest on loan taken to purchase the house, construct the house, repair the house, renovate the house. Only interest on loan. Standard deduction will not be applied. So always you have to start with NAV for self-occupied house. Self-occupied house. We should not start with gross annual value. We need the net annual value. So we will start with net annual value. It is nil for self-occupied house. From net annual value, only one deduction is allowed. That is deduction under section 24B, interest on loan taken to construct the house under section 24B. So actually interest paid is 2,25,000, but Income Tax Act has given the limit. The limit is 2 lakh. Only 2 lakh can be given as deduction for interest on loan. So 0 minus 2 lakh. 0 minus 2 lakh is minus 2 lakh. So this is the loss. Loss from self-occupied house. Loss from self-occupied house. That's all. This is the solution for computing let out house. The one house solution I have given regarding let out house and second one regarding self-occupied house. In working note, you should write down no deductions are allowed except interest on loan. That's it. This is the end of this problem. Now, open. So remember all the detail regarding the explanation of all the points and important questions which I have explained here. You can find all the theory questions and problems in SIA app, or you can see the physical book of Spectrum. In both the books you can get. Only questions you can get it in the description in PDF. Now unit 5. So I told you that from the complexity point of view, first unit, then third unit, then fifth unit. The fifth unit is capital gain and income from other sources. So in this unit number 5, this is the last unit. So 13A or B. The question for this is 13. According to complexity, I am going, right? 13A or 13B. A will be theory, B will be problem. I suggest you always go to the problem because you can get full marks. If you are unable to do the problem, then you prefer the theory. And remember, all the theory you can get in SIA app. Two topics are there in unit number 5. That is capital gain and income from other sources. Briefly, I will tell you. Capital gain is the gain arising on transfer of capital asset during the previous year. Example, building, gold, shares, jewelry. These are the called capital assets. If during the previous year the assessee sold capital asset, then the gain arising is called capital gain. Capital gain may be short term or long term. The detail of this already it is given in the SIA app. You can get it. Now, one problem directly I want to explain you on capital gain. This problem was asked in July 2022. So after watching these problems, definitely you will get the confidence. आपको समझ में आ जाएगा किस तरह हमको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है एग्जामिनेशन में. अगर आप कंप्लीट प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व भी नहीं करेंगे, फॉर्मेट भी अगर फॉलो करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली यू विल गेट द मार्क्स. सपोज अगर कोई कैलकुलेटिंग मिस्टेक भी अगर हो गया, डजंट मैटर, आउट ऑफ 12 मार्क्स यू विल गेट 10 मार्क्स और 8 मार्क्स. इतने मार्क्स आपको थ्योरी में नहीं मिल सकते, इसीलिए ऑलवेज गो फॉर द प्रॉब्लम्स, राइट? So here Mr. Tukaram purchased a plot on March 21st, 1998 for 4,25,000. And during the year 2013-14, he constructed a residential house of rupees 5 lakh. So first he purchased a plot in 1998, and afterwards in 2013-14 he has constructed a house. Fair market value of the plot on 1/4/2001 is 8 lakh. Income Tax Act says, if an asset is purchased before 1/4/2001, the assessee can choose either the cost or the fair market value, whichever is higher. So actually he has purchased the plot for rupees 4,25,000, but the fair market value on 1/4/2001 is 8 lakh. So 4,25,000 is more or 8 lakh is more? 8 lakh is more. So SSC can choose FMV on 1/4/2001. Now he sold the house for 52,50,000 on 4th of December 2019. Actually, in our current examination, it will be given 2023 because these are the past paper. That's why 2019 is given. So we have to take for the previous year 23-24. Now he sold the house for 52. Selling expense are 3% of consideration, CII, cost inflation index. For 2013-14 is 220. And for 2019-20, we don't require this 2019-20 because our current previous year is 23-24. And for 23-24, the index number is 348. That you have to remember. In examination, it will be given. Even if it is not given, you must know it. तो याद रहना आपको कि करंट प्रीवियस ईयर का इंडेक्स नंबर 348 है और इंडेक्स नंबर 1/4/2001 का इंडेक्स नंबर 100 है और बीच में जो ईयर 2013-14 है इसका इंडेक्स नंबर यहां पर दे दिया है, इट इज 220. That's it. So we are required to calculate the income from capital gain. First of all, decide whether it is short term or long term. It is long term. For plot, or for land or building, the duration is 2 years. If an SSC hold the property, land, building, or both for less than 2 years, short term, more than 2 years, long term. Here it is more than 2 years. So it's a long term capital asset. Now, how to compute? Here I am showing, see carefully. How to compute the long term capital gain. Comparatively, it's very easy to find out. Now see, first of all, you should take consideration received. यानी कितने में बिका, कितने में बेचे. So it was sold for 52,50,000. That is called consideration received. The consideration received is 52,50,000. That is given in the problem. Selling price minus selling expenses or transfer expenses, anything you can say. Selling expense or transfer expense, that is given in the problem as 3% at the rate of 3%. So now we calculate 52,50,000 into 3%, 1,57,500. 1,57,500, this is the selling expenses. Now subtract. So 52,50,000 minus 1,57,500. It comes to 50,92,500. This is called net consideration. Net consideration. From net consideration, we deduct indexed cost of acquisition. Indexed cost of acquisition. Acquisition means purchase. जो खरीदते हैं उसको acquisition कहते हैं. तो indexed cost. Actually, he has purchased a plot. Plot खरीदा था वो. उसका actual price 4,25,000 था. लेकिन FMV on 1/4/2001 उसका 8 लाख है. तो whichever is higher, जितना ज्यादा वैल्यू लेंगे उसका टैक्स लायबिलिटी कम होगा. अगर उन्हें 4,25,000 लेगा तो उसका टैक्स लायबिलिटी बढ़ जाएगा. सो ही विल चूज FMV 8 lakh into current previous year index. Our current previous year is 23-24 और 23-24 का इंडेक्स नंबर 348 है. Remember this. And index number of the purchase year. Purchase year means 1/4/2001 will take, because FMV we have taken. So on 1/4/2001, index number was 100. So 8 lakh into 348 divided by 100. It comes to 27,84,000. Now indexed cost of improvement. Indexed cost of improvement. So how much amount he has spent on constructing the building? He constructed a residential house for rupees 5 lakh. 5 lakh rupees he has spent. Into current previous year index. Current previous year index is 348. Divided by index number when the construction was done. Construction कब हुआ है? It was in 2013-14. And index number of 2013-14 is 220. So divided by 220. That's all. So 5 lakh into 348 divided by 220. It comes to 7,90,909. 7,90,909. That's all. Indexed cost of acquisition and indexed cost of improvement. 27,84,000 plus 7,90,909. It comes to 35,74,909. Subtract this. So 50 lakh, how much? 50 lakh 52,000. Just I'll check. 52 lakh 50,000 minus 157,500. It is 50 lakh 92,500. So 50 92,500 minus 35 lakh 74,909. It comes to 15 lakh 17,591. This is called long-term capital gain. That's all. So I'm explaining each and every point here. Similar type of problems you will find in the material on SIA app, or you can find it in the textbook provided by Spectrum. So you can get the complete detail. Here, briefly, I'm explaining. This is the procedure of finding out long-term capital gain. Hope you are understanding. Give me your feedback regarding how you are feeling after attending this live class. Now, this problem we have done. Now, one more problem. Income from capital gain, Unit 5, 13 year. This was asked in July. Same thing is there. Income from securities. See, two topics are there in unit number 5. Capital gain and interest on securities. So this was the problem which was asked in July 22 regarding calculation of interest on securities. I'll explain. But the chances are more regarding capital gain. Very less chances for interest on security. Anyway, I'll explain you how to calculate. Mrs. Shyamala made the following investments during the previous year relevant to the current assessment year. So here different investments are given. Then banker charged 800 as charges on interest collected. Shyamala purchased debentures of Vandana Limited by taking loan of 40,000 at 5% interest on 1/10/2019, which is repayable on 30th September and 31st March of every year. Compute income from interest on security for the assessment year 2021. But we are going to take for assessment year 24-25. After watching this video, definitely you will feel the confidence that these are the type of problems and this method you have to follow for solving the problem. Now, how to calculate the interest on security? I'll just draw a table regarding calculation of interest on security. You can see here in this table. First, so many securities the SSC has purchased. On these securities, the SSC will get interest. Actually, security means debentures, bonds, or government loan on which interest is due. That is called security. Now, first one is 15,000, 12%, 15,000, 12% national savings certificate. National savings certificate. Remember, securities are divided into 3 categories. The first one, fully exempted security. Second one, tax-free security. And third one, less tax security. Income Tax Act has given the list of security on which interest is completely exempted. And one of the securities is National Savings Certificate. Or interest on National Savings Certificate is completely exempted from tax. No interest. Over. One item over. Now, second security, 30,000, 8%. 30,000, 8% tax-free debentures of ABC Limited. I'm simply copying the sentence given in the problem. That means the SSC is having tax-free debentures of ABC Limited. Remember, there are 2 types of tax-free: government tax-free as well as commercial. So here, tax-free debenture of ABC Limited means it is called tax-free commercial security. If tax-free commercial security is there, in 2 steps you have to calculate gross interest. First step, calculate net interest, NI. is equal to face value into rate by 100. Face value of the security 30,000. Rate is 8%. So 2,400. What is this 2,400? Net interest. Now we have to find out the gross interest. So gross interest is equal to net interest into 100 by 90. Assuming that TDS is 10%. So here 2,400 into 100 by 90. That's it. So when we apply this, if it is a tax-free tax-free commercial security, so 2,400 into 100 divided by 90, it comes to 2,667. Second over. Now third one, 25,000 rupees 25,000, comma 14.5%. 14.5 Bombay Port Trust debentures. Bombay Port Trust debentures. Now see here, nothing is given. Tax free it is not given. So we have to assume it is a less tax. For less tax, government security, Bombay Port Trust debentures are government security. Less tax, government security, gross interest is equal to face value into rate by 100. Face value 25,000, rate is 14.5 divided by 100. So here 25,000 into 14.5 divided by 100, it comes to 3625. So how many? Three items. Three security we have completed. Fourth security, 40,000, comma 12%, 12% tax-free government paper. Tax-free government paper. Specifically given tax-free, right? So here we should write down gross interest is equal to face value into rate by 100. 12 by 100. 4,800. This is fourth one. Now fifth one. What the fifth security? 25,000. 4% tax free. 4% tax free. 4% tax free. AP government loan. AP government loan. Right? It is a tax-free government security. Just now we came across tax-free government security. So directly we should write gross interest is equal to face value 25,000 into rate by 100. 4%. 4 by 100. Is it 4%? Yes. So 25,000 into 4 by 100. 25,000 into 4%. 1,000. That's all. And here I am writing in short form because the time is very limited, space is limited. But in examination, you must write in detail the complete format, the complete word you should write on. Now fifth one or now sixth one. Sixth security is 32,000, comma 12% less tax. 12% less tax. Debentures of cement company. Debentures of cement company. See here, it is a less tax. Less tax commercial. Cement company means commercial company. So first we calculate the net interest. NI is equal to face value 32,000 into 12%. 12 by 100. So 32,000 into 12%. It comes to 3840. Then gross interest is equal to net interest 3840 into 100 by 90 into 100 divided by 90. It comes to 4,267. 4,267. That's it. So how many securities we have completed? 6. Now seventh security, it is 15,007.5%. 15,007.5% Nagpur municipal bonds. Nagpur municipal bonds. Again, this is exempted from tax security. No tax is applied on Nagpur municipal bonds. So two exempted security we got. Two exempted securities we got. First one, what we have seen here, National Savings Certificate. Second, Nagpur municipal bond. Last and final, 50,000. 13% convertible debentures. 13% convertible debentures of Vandana Limited. See here, if nothing is given, less tax. It is not tax free. Specifically, tax free is given, then only we have to treat it as tax free. Otherwise, less tax. So, less tax commercial. So, first we calculate NI. NI is equal to 50,000 into 13 by 100 into 6 by 12. Because this last security was purchased during the year, banker charge 800 as collection charges. Shamla purchased debentures of Vandana Limited by taking a loan of 40,000 at 5% interest on 1st October 2019. Actually, for current assessment year, it is not 2019, it is 2023. Right? So only one interest they will get. Interest is payable on 30th September and 31st March. So only on 31st March he will get the interest. So that's why 6 by 12. So 50,000 into 13%. Yes, 13% into 6 divided by 12. 3250. Gross interest is equal to 3250 into 100 by 90. Into 100 divided by 90. It comes to 3611. That's all. Now we have to find out the gross interest of all these. Next slide, I will find out the total of all securities are over, right? So now we'll take 2667 plus 3625 plus 4800 plus 1000 plus 4267 plus 3611. Total is 19,970. So 19,970. This is called gross interest. I am writing only GI, but in examination, don't write GI. You should write complete gross interest. Now, after calculating gross interest, now we have to give the deductions under section 57. This is the continuation of the problem. So gross interest, just now we have calculated 19,970 minus deductions under section 57. The deductions are given regarding collection charges. How much amount is spent on collection of this interest? Banker charged 800 as charges or interest collected. So collection charges 800. Apart from that, interest paid on loan taken 40,000 to purchase Vandana Limited debentures. So here interest on loan. How much loan is taken to purchase Vandana debentures? 40,000. What is the rate of interest on loan? 5%. 5 by 100 into. The loan is taken in October. So October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. 6 by 12. So 40,000 into 5% into 6 divided by 12. 1,000. The total is 1,800 deductions. So 19,970 minus 1,800, it comes to 18,170. This is called income from interest on securities. That's all. This is the end of the problem. So practice all these important questions what I'm explaining. If you just watch the video 2-3 times and make a note of it, definitely you will gain a lot of confidence tomorrow in tomorrow's exam. Just don't simply watch, practice 1 or 2 times. Now, unit number 4. So far I have explained unit number 1, unit number 3, unit number 5. Now 2 more units are there. That is unit number 4 and unit number 2 in the ranking of complexity. So unit number 4, PGBP, profit and gains for business and profession, right? Profits and gains of business and profession. So again, we will be given 12A or B, 12A theory, 12B problem. Any one you have to attempt. But always I prefer the students to do problem because we may get maximum marks in problem. So 2 problems I'm going to explain you here. Practice those problems, get the confidence, and attempt a problem in examination. If you are unable to do the problem, then only you go for theory, right? Theory questions already in description, a PDF you will find. Our CR team is working on it. They will provide you all the theory question in PDF in description. And for complete explanation, you go to the CR app. You will get complete. Not only the theory, but also problems you can get. What I'm explaining, similar type of problems you can find in CR app and also in the physical book of Spectrum. Anyway, you can get. Now, unit number 4. What type of problems? Remember, I'm not explaining the theory. What type of theory questions will be asked in unit number 4? I'm not explaining. You just go to the description, find out the questions there. Here, problems I'm explaining. Now, income from business unit 4. This was the problem asked in July 23, right? For 12 marks. See, very simple. I'll try to explain you in simple words. So, Sundar submits you the following particulars for the year ended 31st March 2020. Compute his income from business. Here, net profit. Profit and loss account is given. Debit side expenses, credit side incomes. The net profit is 3,54,600. The procedure is we have to start from net profit as per profit and loss account. Here, net profit. To this, we add inadmissible expenses. Means the expenses which are debited to profit and loss account, but Income Tax Act will not allow it. That is called inadmissible expense. That we have to add back. Then credit side, if any income which is not a business income is there, that should be deducted. That rule you have to remember. Now, how I will start? Now, see carefully here. First of all, you should write on the heading. Computation of income from business of Mr. Sundar for the assessment year 2024-25. Remember, I have heard one philosopher saying, watching and listening the lecture is much, much better than self-reading. So whatever you are watching, definitely it will directly hit in your mind. You can write excellently. You can remember all the points. So give more concentration. Be patient. Don't leave the class till the end of the class. Now see here, 2 columns I have drawn at the extreme right hand side. Inner column and outer column. First of all, heading computation of income from business of Mr. Sundar for the assessment year 24-25. Now I am writing on net profit. Net profit as per profit and loss account. See, I am writing in short form, abbreviations, but in examination, don't write NP. You should write net profit. Don't write P&L account. Write profit and loss account. How much is the net profit? 3,54,600. 3,54,600. To this we add inadmissible expenses. What do you mean by inadmissible expenses? The expenses which are not allowed by Income Tax Act. The SSC has already debited those expenses, but Income Tax Act says no, it is not allowed. So we have to find it. So before going to the debit side, first you see the other points, other particulars. Legal expense include 2,000 incurred in connection with the personal case. How much legal expense is debited here? 25,000. In profit and loss account, 25,000 legal expenses are debited. But adjustment says 2,000 are not related to business. It is related to personal case. Disallowed. Income Tax Act says no. Legal expense of business will be allowed. Legal expense of personal not allowed. So we add back. So festival expense include gift to relatives 1,500 and friends 500. Actually, festival expenses incurred to promote the business will be allowed. But if gifts are given to friends and relatives, it is a personal expense, not a business expense. Disallowed. Staff welfare expense includes 6,000 paid to health insurance premium in cash. So Income Tax Act says if any cash payment is made up to 10,000, it is allowed. Over 10,000, it is not allowed. Here it is below 10,000, allowed. Depreciation allowed on plant 22,000 as per IT Act. Actually, depreciation was already debited on plant 18,000. Income Tax Act says no. According to Income Tax Act rules, 22,000 should be the depreciation. So this depreciation will be disallowed. Got it? Now we'll start. First item, salaries allowed. Salary paid to employees allowed. Printing and stationery allowed. Legal expenses, some parties disallowed. So here I am writing number 1, legal expenses. In bracket I am writing personal. Actually legal expenses are allowed, but adjustment is given. Some legal expenses are for personal. How much? 2,000 is allowed. 2,000. Right. So after that, legal expense, hire of plant is allowed. Car expenses allowed. Office expenses allowed. Fire insurance business allowed. Cell phone charges allowed. Festival expenses. In festival expenses, some gifts are given to friends and relatives, not allowed. So here second, festival expenses, gifts to friends and relatives. How much gifts are given? 1,500 plus 500, 2,000. Right? Then after festival expenses, staff welfare expenses allowed. Depreciation on building allowed. Depreciation on plant, this is not allowed because here separately on plant it is given. So depreciation on plant. How much here debited? 18,000. So 18,000 is disallowed. So plant depreciation on car allowed. If nothing is given in the adjustment, whatever depreciation debited allowed as reduction. Only on plant separately it is given. Over. Debit side, all items we have checked. Now take the total. 18 plus 2, 20, 22. So 22,000 we have to add back. How much is the net profit? 354,600 plus 22,000. 376,600 minus incomes taxable separately. Incomes taxable separately. That means some incomes are there which are credited to profit and loss account. But Income Tax Act says this is not a business income. Separately, it is taxable under other heads. So we have to remove. First of all, gross profit. It's a business profit. Rent from staff quarter. See it. Actually, rent is taxable under income from house property. But some companies, some business houses, they will make the staff quarters and give this staff quarter to the employees for rent to support the business. That means the intention of the business is not to earn the rent, but to successfully run the business. For business purpose, they have given the staff quarter on rent. So it's a business income. In working note, you should write down the rent from staff quarter is assumed as business income because to promote the business, they have made the staff quarter. Then gain on gambling, it is income from other source, not a business income. So we'll remove gain on gambling, that is 12,000. Then after that, profit on sale of land. Some land was sold, profit is earned. It's a capital gain. It is not a business income. So deduct profit on sale of land, 86,000. Then sundry receipt, it's a business income. Cash assistance from state government, that is also a revenue business income. That's it. Now take the total. 12 plus 86, 98,000. So subtract 98,000, 376, 600 minus 98,000. You'll get 278, 600. 278, 600. This is called business income. Remember, I am writing only in short form, but in examination, don't write BI, write the complete business income. So do you think that it's difficult to calculate business income? No, absolutely not. It's very easy. बहुत आसानी से मालूम कर सकते हैं business income. तो ये टॉपिक यूनिट नंबर 4 ये भी बहुत ही इजी है. तो इफ यू प्रैक्टिस फ्यू प्रॉब्लम्स, आप जाइए ऐप पर, जाइए सिया ऐप पर देखिए, सो मेनी दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स आर देयर. आप रेफर करिए, यू विल गेट द कंप्लीट कमांड ऑन दिस टॉपिक ऑफ यूनिट नंबर 4. यू कैन डू द प्रॉब्लम्स, right? This is the end of this problem. Now one more problem I want to explain. This is income from salaries. Or so we have completed, unit number 4. Now lastly, unit number 2. So before proceeding, just I will check the chat what my students wants to say, then I'll come back. So just now all the theory questions and problems are uploaded in the description. So you can go to the description, find out all the theory questions and problems. And for answers, you have to go to the SIA app or textbooks, right? Some I have seen the chat. Students are have given different chats, different queries. One question just now, one student says that answer it is not clear, so I want to show it 278. Here the doubt was how we got 278,600. It's not clear, I think. Again I write on 278,600. One of the student has given the chat that the amount is not clear regarding business income. So 376,600, 376,600 minus 98,000, 278,600. This is the business income. Hope your doubt is clear now. Now, I am coming to the next problem, that is of unit number 2. So this is the last. So I have a doubt why we didn't consider deductions. Which deductions you are saying? One of the students says why we have not considered the deductions. Just I want to know which problem deductions were not given. I want to find out. Just give me the chat which deductions you need. Now unit number 2, that is income from salary. Income from salary. This is the last unit where you have to attempt the answer, because the provisions in income from salaries are huge. Many provisions are there, so it will take more time. So don't begin with unit number 5. Unit number 2, income from lastly we'll take up. So in this unit, 10A or B, one problem, one theory. 10A problem, 10B, 10A theory, and 10B problem. Always go for the problem. If you are unable, then attempt the theory. The theory questions are already just now uploaded in the PDF form in the description. You can have it. Now, here I can't explain each and every theory, but briefly I have taken one important problem, and you so that you can get the idea. Now, this was the income from salary problem which was asked in July 2023, right, for 12 marks. The problem says Srimati Rakshita is working as sales promotion officer in government department. Her salary details are as below. So what are the details? Basic pay 21,000 per month, DS 7,000 per month, HRA 3,700 per month. She is living in her own house. Entertainment allowance 1,000 per month, CCA 1,500 per month. According to service conditions, she is entitled to commission on sales and she has to bear expenses incurred in promoting sales. Now, during the previous year, she earned a commission of 92,000 and expenses incurred in this connection 35,000. She claims this as expenses as deduction. Then professional tax paid by her is 250 per month. Very easy problem, simple problem. First of all, for computing income from salary, there are 4 components or elements of salary. The first is salary, second is allowances, third perquisites, and last fourth profit in lieu of salary. So after this 4, you will get gross income from salary. From gross income from salary, 3 deductions are available under section 16. 16(1)(a), standard deduction, compulsory. 16(2), that is EA deduction, entertainment allowance deduction. 16(3) is professional tax. These 3 deductions after this will get income from salary. So first of all, you should write on computation of income from salary of Srimati Rakshita for the assessment year 2024-25. This should be your heading. Now, see carefully how I am showing the answer solution for this problem. Come on, 2 columns at the extreme right hand side. The first part is salary. In this salary part, You should take the basic salary, bonus, fees, commission, employer's contribution to RPF, interest credited to RPF in more than 9.5% rate of interest. So these are the items that may come under salary. But in our problem, we are having only two items: basic pay. Basic. The basic pay is 21,000 per month. So 21,000 into 12. So here I am taking 21,000 into 12. You will get 2,52,000. 2,52,000. Next one is commission. अगर बोनस रहा तो बोनस भी लेंगे. Bonus, fees, employers contribution to RPF for more than 12% of salary. ये सारी चीजें है तो लेंगे, नहीं है तो नहीं लेंगे. खाली हमारे पास सिर्फ कमीशन है. What is the commission? How much commission she has received? During the previous year, she earned a commission of 92,000. But the expenses incurred in this connection is 35,000. So minus 35,000. So 92,000 minus 35,000, it comes to 57,000. That's all. Only two items. Now we come to allowances. Allowances. In allowances, first of all, dearness allowance, DA. How much? 7,000 per month. 7,000 into 12. So 7,000 into 12, it comes to 84,000. Right? Apart from DA, we have HRA. House rent allowance. How much? 3,700 per month. 3,700 per month into 12. 44,400. 44,000. One more thing. House rent allowance, HRA exemption will be given only if the SSC is paying the rent. If the SSC is staying in a rented house, then only HRA exemption will be given. But here, she is living in her own house. So Income Tax Act says if the SSC is living in her own house, no rent is paid, no exemption will be given for HRA under section 10, subsection 13A. This is the HRA exemption. But here she will not get to the HRA exemption, complete fully taxable. Next is EA, entertainment allowance. Entertainment allowance. So entertainment 1,000 per month. 1,000 into 12, it is 12,000. Then after a CCA, city compensatory allowance, it is 1,500 per month. 1,500 into 12. So 1,500 into 12, 18,000. That's on all the allowances we have taken: DA, HRA, EA, CCA. 4 allowances are there. Now we take the total. 84,000 plus 44,000 plus 12,000 plus 18,000. It comes to 1,58,000. What is this 1,58,000? Allowances. The next head is perquisites. In perquisites, rent-free accommodation or motor car provided or servant services provided or insurance premium of the employee paid by the employer or monetary obligation of the employee met by the employer. So many types of perquisites, but in our problem we don't have any perquisite. No perquisites are given, right? Now take nil. We'll write on nil. No perquisites. Last one is profit in lieu of salary. Profit in lieu of salary. Normally, we don't have any item in profit in lieu of salary. Amount transferred from URPF to RPF or any compensation paid in lieu of salary. Very rarely they will come. So that's all. We don't have perquisites. We don't have profit in lieu of salary. So we'll take the total. Basic pay 2,52,000 plus 57,000 plus 1,58,000. It comes to 4,67,000. This 4,67,000 is called gross income from salary. Gross income from salary, right? So gross income from salary less deductions under section 16. 44,400. Just now we'll check. 3,700 into 12. You will get 44,400. Simply I have committed one mistake here. This only. Yes. 41,400. 44,400. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate my viewers. They are taking so much of interest. I feel very happy. So 84,000 plus 44,400 plus 12,000 plus 18,000. It comes to 158,400. So I will make the correction here. 158. So 158,400. So again, I calculate 252,000 plus 57,000 plus 158,400. It comes to 467,400. 467,400. Right? This, what is this 467,400? Gross income from salary. Deductions under section 16. First one is standard deduction under section 16(1)(a). The standard deduction is least of the following two amounts: gross income from salary or 50,000 fixed. This 50,000 is fixed by the Income Tax Act, whichever is less. So gross income from salary 467,400 or fixed amount 50,000, whichever is less. So 50,000 is less. Then EA deduction. EA deduction under section 16(2). Now see, entertainment allowance deduction under section 16(2) will be given only for government employees. So first of all, see whether the SSC is a government employee. Yes, she is working in a government department, so she will get. If the employee is a non-government employee, no deduction will be given for EA under section 16(2). Now, how much deduction? So conditions are given. The first is A, 20% of salary. 20% of salary. Salary means basic. Salary, how much? 2,52,000. So 20% of 2,52,000. 252,000 into 20%. 50,400. Or B, actual EA received. Actual EA received here to 1,000 into 12,000. Or C, fixed is 5,000. This fixed amount is given by the Income Tax Department, 5,000. So among these three, whichever is the lowest, that is the EA deduction under section 16(3). 16(2). So 5,000. Therefore, EA deduction is equal to 5,000. This 5,000 is the deduction. Last one is professional tax. If the SSC pays professional tax, deduction will be given under section 16(3). Professional tax paid by her 250 per month. So 250 into 12, it is 3,000. It is 3,000. That's all. So now take the total 55, 58. 58,000 is the deduction. So 467, 400 minus 58,000, it comes to 409, 400. This is called income from salary. That's all. This is the procedure of computing the income from salary. Briefly, I'll explain. The points are the income from salary will be computed four elements: salary, allowances, perquisites, profit in lieu of salary. The four of these is called gross income from salary. From gross income from salary, deductions under section 16, 16(1)(a), compulsory deduction, standard deduction, gross income from salary or 50,000, whichever is less. 50,000 is less. Year reduction will be allowed under section 16(2) if the assessee is a government employee. तो गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय है, अगर नॉन गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय अगर रहता तो ये रिडक्शन नहीं मिलता, ओनली गवर्नमेंट. देन प्रोफेशनल टैक्स, जो प्रोफेशनल टैक्स पे करे दैट इज अलाउड एज डिडक्शन अंडर सेक्शन 63, तो 250 पर month. That's it. Hope the point is clear. Similar type of problems you can get in the CR app or textbook. So practice those problems. Just I'll see the chat and I'll come back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just now I have seen the chat. Some of the students require to find out what are the deductions allowed and what are the deductions not allowed. Very good question, beta. I'll explain you. The deductions allowed. Income Tax Act says any expenditure incurred in conducting the business, in running the business, operating the business will be allowed as deduction. So example, the Income Tax Act has given, examples are given: repairs to building, repairs to machinery, or insurance of the building, advertisement if it is in revenue in nature, scientific research. All these are the deductions. List of deductions are allowed. Right? Now the question is, which are the deductions which are disallowed, not allowed by Income Tax Act? So Income Tax Act says bad debts are allowed, but provision for doubtful debts are not allowed. Then income tax is not allowed. GST will be allowed. Excise duty, customs duty will be allowed. Apart from that, any expenses which are personal in nature, example, drawings are given or birthday expenses are given, it is not allowed as deduction. Similarly, expenditure of the current year will be allowed. If expenditure relates to last year or next year, it will not be allowed. Similarly, revenue expenditure will be allowed. Capital expenditure will not be allowed. So these are the deductions which are allowed and deductions which are not allowed. And one more question is regarding, so which one? Sir, explain. Okay, Mahin Anjum. Okay, sir, expense incurred for commission should be considered. We do directly. Yes, commission is a business expenditure, so it is allowed as deduction. Then one more thing was just now I missed. One student got the doubt, and the student says, what are the rules regarding motor car? I have not come across in this problem, but orally I'll explain you. Provision regarding motor car. If the employer gives motor car to the employee, it is a perquisite. It is taxable. Now we have to see how the motor car is given. If the motor car is exclusively given for personal purpose, completely personal purpose, so whatever expenditure incurred by the employer is fully taxable in the hands of the employee. But normally in examination, they will give you motor car is given to the employee for both, partly for business purpose and partly for personal purpose. In that case, if it is a big car and all the expenses are borne by the employer, right? In that case, If it is a big car, 2,400 per month is the value of the perquisite. If it is a small car, 1,800 per month is the value of the perquisite. Along with, if a chauffeur is also provided, driver is also provided, irrespective of the salary paid to driver, 900 per month will be added to the value of the car. These are the provisions regarding motor car. Harsha Gaud, rent-free accommodation. Again, provisions are given for rent-free accommodation. Rent-free accommodation given by the employer to the employee is a taxable perquisite for all the employees. Now we have to see whether the employee is a government employee or a non-government employee. Whether the accommodation is owned by the employer or hired by the employer. So many provisions are given. First of all, for government employee, the rent fixed by the government is the value of the perquisite. For non-government employee, we have to see whether the employer owns the accommodation or hired one. So many provisions are there regarding rent-free accommodation. One student, Anirudh Shroff, he says, please explain 115 BSc problem. See here. Actually, time is not much. That's why I cannot go in depth in 115 BAC. Actually, this is the default scheme applied from current year. The employees, the SSCs are given two options. They can go for default scheme or they can choose for optional tax regime. Optional tax regime means old one. New tax regime is default tax regime. For default tax regime, the tax rates are entirely different and many exemptions are lifted. If I explain in detail all these 115 BSc, you will get confused. That's why. So in examination, you can follow the old tax regime, optional tax regime, and apply old tax rates. Here also, whatever I have explained here, that is old according to optional, not according to default. Just like house rent allowance. HRA exemption is there only in the optional tax regime. In new tax regime, that is lifted, that is removed, no HRA exemption. Similarly, professional tax, old tax regime it is allowed, new tax regime not allowed. Entertainment allowance reduction, old tax regime allowed, new tax regime not allowed. Tax rates, the slabs are different. Up to 3 lakh exempted. No difference between resident, non-resident. Everybody will be equal. No distinction for age limit also. So many provisions are there. If I continuously tell, you will get confused. So don't go for default tax scheme. Children education allowance. Income Tax Act says children education allowance. If the employer has paid children education allowance to the employee, Income Tax Act says actual allowance received or 1,200 per annum per child for a maximum of 2 children. That means 1,200 plus 1,200, 2,400 or actual allowance received, whichever is less, that is allowed as deduction. Remaining will be taxable. Example, if the employer gives 10,000 as children education allowance, Income Tax Act says 1,200 plus 1,200, 2,400. So 2,400 is allowed as deduction. So 10,000 minus 2,400, 7,600 is tax. Why we consider deductions in unit 4 income from business? Why we didn't consider deduction? We have considered the deduction. Deduction means which are allowed by Income Tax Act. Whatever Income Tax Act is allowing, that is called deduction. So here, all the salary paid, rent paid, all these are the deductions already debited to profit and loss account. Now we should not do anything. If it is disallowed, then we should add back. Fourth unit problem, commission. Clear the role of commission and fourth unit problem. See, commission. You mean commission for income from business. Commission paid will be allowed as deduction for business incomes. For income from salary, commission is an income to the employee. In the just now we have done the problem where employer is giving commission to the employee. It is taxable under the head salary. Expenses are paid for earning the commission. That will be deducted. That will be deducted. Remaining amount is taxable. RPF, SPF. One student asked for RPF and SPF. There are four types of provident fund. Actually, provident fund is a social security scheme in which employee will contribute some amount to RPF. Employer also contributes some amount to RPF. This will get accumulated, and at the time of retirement, the employee will get the complete amount: employee's contribution, employer's contribution, and interest on both. So RPF, recognized provident fund, is that provident fund which is recognized by the commissioner of provident fund. Commissioner of provident fund. If the one doubt was there, if the employer gives children education allowance for more than 2 children, they may give. If the employer is giving for 5 children, doesn't matter. But Income Tax Act says deduction will be given only up to 2 children. 1200 per month. So 1200 per month into 2, 2400. Suppose if the employer has given 5 children education allowance, 10,000 they have given. Out of 10,000, 2,400 is exempted. Remaining is taxable. Employer birthday gift, no. Employer birthday gift, that is not, allowed as deduction. Encashment of leave. See, at the time of retirement, if the employee gets encashment leave encashment amount, for government employees it is fully exempted. For non-government employees, some details are given, 4 amounts are given. Least of these 4 amount is exempted, remaining is taxable. Why didn't write admissible expense of depreciation? See here, if depreciation is not given, in the adjustment, then whatever depreciation is debited to profit and loss account, that is assumed as per IT rules. So that will be allowed. In adjustment it is given depreciation. So depreciation debited to profit and loss account will be disallowed. And this depreciation which is given in adjustment will be allowed. Yes, you can pass. There is no doubt. If one student has given the chat that can we pass the examination by writing only theory? Yes, of course. There is no condition that only if you write, attempt the problem, then only you will pass. No, even by writing theory, you can equally pass. No doubt about it. So, medical expenses. One student has given the chat regarding medical expenses incurred by the employer. Suppose the employee or family members have taken the medical treatment from a recognized hospital and the amount is paid by the employer. It's fully tax-free perquisite. It's completely tax-free perquisite. But if the treatment is done in an unrecognized hospital, some limit is given, up to that limit is exempted, remaining is taxable. Explain how to take GAV. The first point in calculating income from house property is calculating gross annual value. The gross annual value will be calculated by considering 4 items: municipal rental value, fair rental value, actual rental value, standard rental value. By considering these 4, we calculate GAV. Already in the problem I have explained how to calculate GAV. This problem you may get for 4 marks and also you will get in 12 marks. How to calculate furniture in second unit? No, how to calculate furniture? Furniture in second unit. Second unit is income from salary. You mean to say your doubt is not clear because in unit number 2 we have income from salary. In income from salary, furniture means what? That means furniture you mean to say furniture provided by the employer to the employee. So the rules are regarding immovable property which is given by employer to employee for use. Maybe that one. Not this type of video for business study. Okay.
This video will be available on YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can watch it again.
So this, complete live class is being posted on the YouTube, and you can watch it later. So I wish you all the best for your. Before concluding, before the conclusion of this session, I want to clarify some doubt. In the beginning slides, we have committed some glitches regarding part A and part B. Again, I repeat, in part A, short questions, 8 questions will be given. Out of 8, you have to attempt 5 questions. 5 fours are 20. In this 8 questions, possibility is 1 problem and 7 theory, or 2 problems, 6 theory, or completely 8 theory questions you may get. So that is there in part A. In part B, you will have 5 problems, internal choice, A bit or B bit, A bit or B bit, 9A or 9B, 10A, 10B, 11AB, 12AB, 13AB. So for every unit, 1 question will be there. You can write A theory question or B problem. But in unit number 1, 90% chance you may get both the theory questions. That is a pattern of the question here.
So one more problem is continuously underneath. So
How to do problems in unit 3, where assessed has 3 houses and all are residential. So Income Tax Act has given that 2 houses can be treated as self-occupied. If a person is occupying 3 houses, 2 houses will be treated as self-occupied and the third house will be treated as deemed to be let out.
about this application.
So in your SIA app, you will find topic notes, previous year questions, frequently asked questions, videos, PDFs, and syllabus. All these content you can get in SIA app. So hope this session, this live session is very much helpful to you. And from SIA Publications, I wish you all the best for tomorrow's exam. Be cool and come out from the examination hall with a smiling face. I hope you understood my lecture. You will get a lot of benefit, and in the coming days, coming months, more and more videos on different subjects we will upload. Thank you very much for watching. All the best.
क्या है ये लास्ट मिनट का टेंशन रिविजन के साथ भी है सॉल्यूशन रुको जरा ले लो ये डायरेक्शन सिया के साथ बढ़े प्रोग्रेशन छोड़ो वो पेजेस जो कंफ्यूज करे हर सवाल का जवाब यहाँ पर है अब सपनों के रास्ते और आसान हुए उम्मीद के नए आसमान हुए चमके जो सितारे तुम्हारी किताबों में नई सुबह शुरू अब तुम्हारे सपनों में सिया के साथ सफर है सुहाना दुनिया की हर राह लगे नजर आना क्या है ये लास्ट मिनट का टेंशन रिविजन के साथ में भी सॉल्यूशन रुको जरा ले लो ये डायरेक्शन सिया के साथ बढ़े प्रोग्रेशन
ये फर्स्ट टाइम लाइव आया है, थोड़ा सा